It's time to fly. It's time to fly. What's up? Let me make sure we is good with the sounds. Let's make sure I can hear it. There's been some interesting things going on lately. Oh yeah, we good. So, welcome Wednesday. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the airplane show. Welcome back, all my fine aviation friends. So we're gonna be flying from Santa Maria, Azores to La Ras. I think it's Air Force Base in the Azores. So, yeah, we're gonna be doing this here flight today. We're gonna be flying about 11 o'clock in the morning. I do have live weather turns on, so it's gonna be a fun flight. This is a super fun plane to fly. If you haven't had a chance to fly this here plane yet, this plane is a lot of fun. So we are going to turn the ATC back on. So let's do that, because I forgot to do that. I wanted to do the DC-3, but it's not working properly since the last update. It is not working properly at all. AI, the system that you can use in the DC-3 that's like the autopilot system, it's not working properly. The pitch feature to hold your pitch is not working, and the latitude part of that system is not working either. It doesn't turn your plane at all. It's a known issue. I looked it up on the I've been losing my train of thought a lot lately. Jesus. I looked it up on Microsoft forums, and it did confirm what I thought, which is it's just not working properly for some reason, and it's across like every platform. It's not just a Xbox issue. It's pretty widespread. All right, let's get our checklist. We're not going to use GigaChad today. We're just going to do our own thing. All right, exterior lights off, crash lever's down, starter is off, inertial separator is off. That's down below. I already know that's off. Landing gear's down, bleed off. Yeah, all this is already off. Let's see, your fuel tank selector, open left or right. Let's go down below. It is open to the left. Very good. All right, let's see here. So let's get this plane started up. All right, let's put the crash bar up. Let's put the source as battery. Generator is main. Let's test the de-icing system. Hopefully this plane works properly. It should, since just when airplanes have these screens, I get nervous. So, all right, let's test the icing system here. All right, that works. And let's test the landing. That works. And that works. All right, and we got fuel on board. There's our fuel right there. All right, very good. Okay. Monitoring if residual ITT is greater than 150. That's not true. Okay, so ignition. Actually, let me make this full screen here. do. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and put the. All right, ignition is on auto. Aux boost pump is on. Starter 1,000, 1,000. What's good, my dude? What's happening? All right, let's set low idle. You know, I forgot to turn. Give me a second. I forgot to turn those features off from earlier today. Is it checklist? No. Shit. Where the hell was it? I'm only going to spend like a minute doing this. I could have sworn it was. Maybe it's accessibility. Just. Here we go. Yeah, let's turn this off. There we go. All right, so ITT max 870 and NG 30. 30% before 30 seconds. That's true. All right, starter off. Starter is off already. All right, let's put some lights on. Some nav lights on. I'm not online right now, but it's yeah, I'll be online later tonight or tomorrow. It is. I'll type it in here. Bacon. Yeah, I'll be online. I'll be online pretty much all day tomorrow, so you can certainly find me tomorrow. That's for sure. All right, after the engine start, we got it on low idle. Okay, let's put on aux boost pump goes to auto. Selector goes to auto. This button. All right. And let's see here. Trims on. Generator is main, which that already is. Let's see here. Bleed is auto or max diff. Let's do auto. Okay. Initial separator on. Sweet. Yeah, man. I'll look out for you. Flight controls are good. I know that. Throttle, we need to feather that twice. Throttle, doing that's such a pain in the ass. All right. Let me have that do it automatically. Throttle feather choice. Let's let him auto-complete that. All right, very good. All right, I think we're okay. We're taxi lights and park. All right, let's set our flight plan. Our PIDOT heat on. How's our trim looking? Rudder trim is out of whack. Let's it's our elevator trim. It lets us. Strange, it's not letting us change our trim. Put our flaps down. And let's set our flight plan. I don't think I can bring it in from... So we're going from Santa Maria, Azores to Lajas Air Force Base. So it's the Azores are these very little islands off the coast of Portugal. So that's where we're flying tonight. I think this plane will let me bring in. It won't. Okay, all right, we'll just type it in. It's a short flight plan. LPAZ. And LPLA. The whole flight should take a little bit more than an hour, somewhere in that area. All right, procedure is departure. We are doing runway 30. Okay. VG. VG5N. There we go. Load that. And our approach tonight is ILS 33 Cudley, and our minimums are 379. All right, let's load that. Now from VMG, we're picking up an airway, so let's load the airway in. And our airway is H113. Taking that to Mitbrew. Let's load that in. Click done there, and let's come up here. And our flight level should be 27,000 feet for this flight, so let's plug that in now. Very good. So that's all done. Go to weight and fuel. It's give me a second. We type in LP. What's up, thugs? What's good, my dude? Hey, man, it's all good. You're here now. That's what matters. Hopefully all is going well for you. All right, so we got that set. Aircraft systems. All right, there's no performance. that's about it. Let's set our speed bugs. And let's make bearing to our flight plan. Yeah, I think that's about it. All right, let's let the ATC know what we're doing. Traffic settings. All right, operate. And let's make map full screen. I'm not, oh no, I don't think I'm on a server right now. I'm not online. I'm not in multiplayer right now. I don't usually fly on. Yeah, I don't usually fly online, but I'll be online tomorrow. That's why I said you can check out for me tomorrow. Yeah, man, I've been the same way. I once I started playing the sim, like I just can't stop. It's very addicting, especially with all the different planes and all the different airports and the weather. And yeah, man, it is a lot of fun to play. Yep, I'm with you, my man. I can't put it down myself. All right, we got 27,000 feet. Yep, I'll be on pretty much all day tomorrow. Once the afternoon rolls around, I'll be on. Let's see here, and we can set our barometer. That is, yep. I did the same thing. I bought the standard edition first, and then like 2 months ago, the premium deluxe was on sale for like 50% off. I was like, shit, let me get that thing. It was 50% off. I'm like, that's too good of a deal to pass. All right, that's all good. Let's contact the ATC. Tell them chumpies what we're up to. Our flight's yo mama. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Back when I used to play on the PS4, some of the new games that were coming out on the PS4, that fan on that PS4 sounded like it was spinning so fast that it was just going to fly off the back of the PlayStation. It's crazy. All right, read back correct. Contact ground. Let's push back. Do I need a pushback? Yeah, I guess they can push me back. Actually, well, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, let's stop, because we're gonna wind up chopping his head off. Yeah, all right, goodbye ATC. Yeah, we're good. We'll just back up ourselves. Let us reverse. All right, no problem. Should be able to go through these vehicles. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. There's like nobody at this airport today. This is great. Let's go up the runway and then make a U-turn. I hope this flight plan will be okay. I've been running into issues because there was new data that came out with AIRAC, which is like all the waypoints, standard instrument departures, arrivals, like all the charts. And some of the airplanes have not been working properly because they haven't been updated with the new info. So like the A310, that plane right now, you have to put a date of December 27th or back from 2023. So if you do anything after December 27th, the airplane more than likely is not going to operate properly. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but that's not good. Hopefully they'll come out with an update here soon. Go on nav. And then we'll turn around and finish our checklist. So I use a joystick and a mouse. So I would love yokes are on my short list, but I can't afford the cost of it right now. Why did they have us go all the way? Oh, maybe that's not part of the. That's weird. Why wouldn't they have us come out here on the taxiway? Why do they have us go to the middle of the? That's been happening a lot lately. Like they have me taxiing to the middle of the runway. Yeah, no, I just been, every flight that I do, I've just been using, controller and a mouse. But yokes and I don't really know if I need rudder pedals. I guess if it comes with it, that's okay. But I definitely want yokes. So I've been looking at a few different versions, the Thrustmaster and some of the other ones. Okay, initial separators on. RPM. Override. That's all right. All right, let's go ahead and bring up the checklist. Yeah, I haven't done anything with the keyboard yet. Thinking about it, but right now I'm comfortable with joystick and the mouse. All right, that's all good. So for takeoff, we have top RPM green sector. Right now it's in yellow for some reason. I'm not sure why. Rotation speed. Auxiliary pump. Okay, let's make sure those are both on auto. You're on auto. Ignition should be auto or on. We'll leave that on auto. Okay, very good. Let's put on our landing lights and let's get out of here. Go ahead and put our yoke back. And let's see. Let's set our flight management speed before we take off. So that's the Y speed is the best speed for your climb. So we can click on FLC and then we can adjust the speed. 124. Yeah, supposedly it's supposed to be released this year. I've seen a lot of that too. There's a lot of new planes coming out this year too, from what I've seen. But yeah, Flight Simulator 2024 should be out. I don't know when, but yeah, there is. They've been saying that in on the forums and different articles about 2024 coming out. I can't wait. Hopefully they'll do some nice improvements to it. I'd love to have a good replay feature where you can like rewind part of your flight and watch it. and I like to have a good system for fast forwarding the flight. Like if you want to, if you want to, like for me, like the cruising part is always like the most boring for me. If there's a way to effectively fast forward the cruising part, I would love that. Yeah, that was crazy. I saw a video on it. They're not really sure exactly what was said. Hang on a second. Let me concentrate on this real quick. Because it's not going to follow our flight plan. All right, let's go into heading mode and let's turn on the autopilot. All right, let's pull our thrusters back a little bit. So we got to keep our ITT at a certain. Yeah, so supposedly that Japanese flight, the not the A350, the other flight, the Dash 8Q400. Supposedly, it was told to hold short of runway 34 right, and holding short means you stop. You don't enter the runway, you stop. And it was at a intersection where it's like a 90-degree angle, and I guess they pulled out too far, or didn't hear everything because like the A350 came in, it just touched down in the touchdown zone, and like it was putting its wheels down, and that's like when it hit the other plane, and just that Dash 8Q400, the wings are like level with the body, and it's got this high tail, like T kind of like almost like an ATR kind of airplane. And yeah, man, that's crazy. That I don't even know if the pilots in the A350, I don't even know if they knew that there was a plane there, because if that plane is parked, if you're coming in the runway at night, you have all these lights going and all these lights in front of you, and then you have a plane that's parked sideways, you might see a nav light or a little bit of a strobe light maybe, but other than that, like that plane's completely black, like you can't see it. So I don't know if they even saw that plane. All right, let's fix our flight plan. I see what it wanted to do now. It wanted us to go back to that BOR station and then go. So let's do direct to point. And VSM, let's go back. Plan, PFG, direct to, and activate. There we go. Now we can click on navigation. This map I usually leave on 5 miles or less. I've run into issues sometimes when I blow the map out and make it bigger. Sometimes that knocks the screens out. Makes them all go black. Same thing with the level of detail. I usually leave that at a minimum level, because I've had that cause the screens to go black too. So yeah, but that yeah, usually those things are. The guy that I watched on YouTube last night, I've never seen him before, but he was saying, he supposedly had audio of the ATC, and I mean, they were talking so fast I couldn't understand anything, but yeah, supposedly they were told to hold short, but yeah, usually that's due to human error. I mean, I'd have a hard time believing that a Coast Guard trained pilot would make that kind of mistake. I mean, that's a really rookie level mistake to not hold short of a runway, especially a going to, you know, I guess I can't really make a guess, but to me, that's crazy that accident would happen with you know, it's not like it was a private pilot, you know, or a new pilot. You know, I mean, that's a military trained pilot. Even if he was a new pilot for the Coast Guard, he's still trained by the Coast Guard. So, all right, let's set our barometric pressure to standard. Yeah, that's thankfully everybody on board the A350 lived. I mean, I feel bad for the 5 or 6 people that died on that Coast Guard flight, but man, that's a hell of a thing. Like, I don't know if they even knew what was happening. Like, if they, because I don't know how they're sitting inside that plane. Like, sometimes those military planes, they're all sitting at different stations. You know, radar stations, weapon stations, hydraulic stations, engine stations. Like, sometimes they're sitting at different stations. So it's a good chance they had no idea that there was a plane coming. But that must have been a hell of a thing. Like, if they saw it coming and they just couldn't move out of the way because it's an airplane. It's not like you can't just hit the throttle and go. It takes a minute for, a little bit for those propellers to start going. Yeah, that had to be scary as hell for them, man. I mean, dying though, at least it was quick. I mean, that's like the only positive. I mean, everything else is horrible, but I mean, if I'm gonna die, I want to die quickly. Like, I don't want it to be like long drawn out in a hospital bed, from some sort of sickness. I'd rather go like quick, like that, like let a plane explode and then that's it. So, yeah, it's terrible to happen. So, really good video that they caught from that too. I don't know how they got that video. Yeah, they got some really good video of that. Air intake here. It's got the exhaust coming out here, man. Looks like it's got a mustache. There's a few planes that are in the simulated fly that have this kind of PIDOT, pedo, or whatever they're called. I think it's pretty cool. It looks like it's got a mouth and a nose, like some whiskers. What's up, my dude? Welcome back. Taking a short little trip from one island to the next and on the Azores. I don't think weather works in this plane. I mean, there's really no weather anyways. I have live weather turned on, but there's like no storms or anything around here. There's some planes that the weather shows up really good. Like in the A310, it shows like the actual storms on the display. I think that's really cool that they do that. All these sharks down there can just look at my plane. They're not touching me. Be a hell of a meal for a shark, that's for sure. Definitely a mouthful, that's for sure. Big old chicken nugget. Chicken nugget for a shark. Yeah, this is I like this plane a lot. No, thank you. I'm going to turn the ATC off. this TBM has been one of my favorite planes in this game. It's just I get kind of nervous with this plane because of the digital screens, but thankfully things have kind of paying attention. I got you. Sorry about that. Having pressure. All right, well, I guess we need to slow our ascent. So let's go into VS mode and slow down our ascent. Yeah, you know, Twitch has been doing that lately where it's been freezing. I really wish that there was a way that I could use my headphones and not have to go through Twitch, but with this Xbox, there's no way of doing that. All right. Hopefully the cabin pressure will catch up. Oh, my passenger's passing out. Just turn on max mode. It might have crashed actually, because I'm getting an error message saying YouTube is not receiving. Shit, I hope it didn't crash. No, we're okay. It's still going. OBS is giving me an error message saying that YouTube is not receiving, so I guess I'll leave it up on my iPad too, just to monitor it. Okay, our cabin pressure is good again. Put the masks away. Masks that pump nitrous oxide into us, so we can laugh a bit while we're flying the plane. All right, let's see here. Let's go back to full screen. Shit, we only have 9 minutes until we descend. Yeah, well, we're just gonna level off here, I guess. Let's level off here. Plug in 25.5. Change our flight plan. Okay, that's good. And we'll let the ATC know as well. Yeah, because we only have 8 minutes until we descend, so we'll just stick here at 25,000 feet. Yeah, I don't know. So, you know, with the Xbox, yeah, I like to do that too. Like when I was doing that trip to Lukla Airport, like near Mount Everest, like the last half of that trip, I flew that thing manually. When it's over water like this, you know. But like when I'm flying closer to the ground, near mountains and shit like that, yeah, it's fun to fly it manually. What's your favorite little plane to fly? Like me personally, I really like the Diamond DA62. It's not too fast, it's not too slow. It's got a really cool look to it, and like, I don't know, I really like that little airplane, that Diamond DA62. I think that's a really cool little plane. All right, let me. All right, bitch, Jesus Christ. Here we go. There we go. All right, let me come here. Let's turn on nav 1 for that. Let's go here and it's a pain in my ass. All right, let's do speed bugs. Oh, it doesn't have. Oh, it does have the approach already in there. Okay. And let me check our frequencies. So 111.50 should be the correct. 111.50 and our course is 331. We'll make sure that that's in as well. So we got 111.50. Let's plug in 6,000. We're going to be descending in a few minutes. I think VNAV is already activated. It looks like it on the display there. It says the altitude and then V path it has, so it looks like that's good. Let me go into heading mode real quick. And let me change the navigation source. Yeah, I'm with you. I like that. I like pretty much all of them too, but I like that classic Bonanza as well. That's a pretty cool little plane. Some shit. Oh, knob. All right, we need 331. So we got that set, and let's do the same thing for localizer 2. All right, that's all set. Now we can go back to FMS, and we can go back into nav mode. Yeah, King Air is pretty cool too. Yeah, there's so many little planes that are really cool. I like the Bonanza, the single engine Bonanza, the G36, I think it is. Cubcrafter planes, I'm not so much a fan of those, but a lot of the Cessnas I like. I like some of the other jets too that have like no autopilot, like no digital displays. You have to fly that plane manually the whole time. There's a couple of planes that are like that. Yeah, there's definitely a good mix of airplanes in this game, that's for sure. do have we have live weather turned on. I just chose a different time because right now it's pretty dark over this part of the world, but we do have live weather turned on. All right, so we should start descending. Yeah, there's our top of descent marker right there. Yep, they do. The one thing though with a lot of the planes that, like planes like this where they're a bit more advanced, once you kind of get familiar with like the interaction with the buttons, almost every plane has like the same kind of layout, if you would. So, but yeah, it's a lot to take in at first, that's for sure. I mean, it's already tough enough to fly these planes, but on top of that, operating all the equipment at the same time, yeah, it's a bit much. All right, here's our. Yeah, me too. I like old school gauges. Once this little almost triangle gets down to the middle, we should start our descent. And we can plug in really any altitude we want under 6,000, but this plane's going to stop at 6,000 feet because that's what is in the flight management system. That's what this magenta number is here. Yeah, that one plane I bought, the Mitsubishi MU2, that thing is like all analog. I mean, you can have a Garmin system in it. I usually leave that part out. But yeah, I like old school gauges and having to line up the different needles. It keeps me a lot more engaged with the airplane. Like a plane like this, once you program the navigation and you put it in autopilot, there's really not much you need to do at that point. But those other planes with the analog gauges, you really need to like pay attention to a lot of things. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, some of those Garmin systems, like the screens may look the same in different airplanes, but the buttons on the bottom do like different things. Or you have the ones where like the buttons are on like the center here, and they do different things. Yeah, the Garmin system's pretty. Like, believe it or not, this digital system is way easier to use than like the Garmin system with the buttons like on the side here. Yeah, this system is pretty easy because it's it tells you what you're clicking on. There's other buttons, it's got like all these sub menus you have to go into, and you have to click on one knob in order to turn. It's yeah. I hear you. All right, what's our transition altitude tonight? Go look at the chart here. So 5,000 feet is our transition altitude. EFD settings. Wow, look at that wind. Jesus. 56-degree headwind. Or 56 knot headwind. Jesus. I think I might have to turn the ATC off. Yeah. Give me a second. Let me turn them off because they're gonna start getting annoying. I originally wanted them to be on so they could give me the barometric pressure as I'm flying, but I have it up on Navigraph, so let me just turn off. All right, so turn that part off. And turn this off and this off. All right, no more ATC. Yeah, like in other planes that have the Garmin system that have like the buttons on the side here, if you click on the PFD settings, it brings up an option to have the DME mileage and information here, but that doesn't seem like that's an option here. Backlighting, yeah. Well, we don't have connects. Yes, one thing with this simulator, they give you a really good variety of airplanes to learn. A lot of them are very similar in a lot of ways, but they're all different in some ways too. And I really wanted to fly the DC-3 tonight, but it's broken. And I'm not alone with the broken. I checked it on the Microsoft forums this afternoon. So if you're not familiar with the DC-3, there's no real autopilot per se. It's got a system in there that uses hydraulics, and you can keep your pitch up or down to climb or descend, and you can use it to turn as well. Neither one of those features are working anymore for some reason. Since the last update, it's just not working. So I looked it up on the forums today, and a lot of people are having issues. It's not just me. It's Xbox X, Series S, PC people, just everybody's having issues. So once that is fixed, I'm gonna do some flights with the DC-3. Well, I could probably do some flights now. I just have to fly it manually. So maybe I'll do one of those tomorrow. DC-3 is cool. You have to do a lot of stuff in that airplane while you're flying. Yeah, the gliders are actually kind of fun too. It's kind of cool getting in a glider and starting 3,000 or 4,000 feet over a volcano, a major city, and just kind of gliding around. The helicopters are kind of fun too. That Bell helicopter is kind of cool, and then the other little one's pretty. Yeah, it's definitely got a very good mix of big jets, little planes, private jets with, engines. Yeah, that's true. I can. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Yep, I will look into that. Yeah, because I like that plane, because you have to there's a hydraulic handle you have to pull out and move up after you take off, and you have to adjust the cowl flaps, and you have to make sure that the barometric pressure is correct, otherwise the engines won't perform properly. There's a lot of stuff you have to keep an eye on to fly that plane. The plane will probably still fly even if you don't do that stuff, but I don't know how closely that plane is to real life, but there's a lot of stuff to do in that airplane. Having a mouse certainly comes in handy, because going into this cursor mode where you have, this, when this icon's up, you can't control the airplane. You can interact with options. You can click on buttons and move levers, but you can't control the airplane. So having that mouse comes in real handy. I'm sure having a keyboard would make it come even more handy, but I just haven't sat down to learn the keyboard and mouse method. I'm still very comfortable with the controller and the mouse. There might come a time where I might move to a keyboard, but right now I'm pretty good with what I got. Blowing me up later. Twitch. The fucking Twitch. I don't even look at Twitch. I just use it to stream. I wish that the Xbox had a way to stream right to YouTube. Then I could use my headphones and go right to YouTube, but no way. I tried plugging into my capture card and plugging my headphones in that way. That didn't work out too well. I tried plugging the headphones directly into the controller. I have a little dock that goes on the end of the controller where I plug into it. It's made for headphones, and that really wasn't working well. So I'm kind of forced to go to Twitch, and then from Twitch I have OBS on my laptop, and then I use the camera on my laptop, which is why my mouth doesn't move with my words. Like, it looks like it looks like a film that was edited very badly. Well, I'm descending. So. I mean, we can descend much quicker if you would prefer. I mean, we're going about 230 knots. Move it up if you would like. I'm not really in a hurry, so I really wasn't paying attention to going too fast. I was just kind of chilling, letting this plane do its thing. No reason sign. I just wasn't paying attention. I was kind of dazing out. Our initial fix. We could probably switch over to how far do we go? We don't have that far to go, actually. We could probably switch over to localizer mode. Oh, we still got 25 miles on Cuddly. All right, we'll keep using our navigation for a while. I think when we get to our next waypoint here, we'll go ahead and switch over to localizer mode. Oh shit, there's no barometric pressure reading in this area. Let's see if Navigraph has anything. Let's go to METAR. Let's see, the closest one is Vortac facility. And it does not have coverage dew point. Not give us the barometric pressure. I have no idea what it is. All right, it's 30.21. There we go. All right, we got to plug that in when we get to 5,000 feet. is. Maybe I'll do another flight tonight. What time it is? Oh, shit, it's only 8 o'clock. Yeah, I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to find something else to do. I really want to download one of the world sceneries and do one of the bush trips. Like one of the bush trips where I have to fly manually. Like I know there's one in Alaska, there's one in California that I don't need to download anything with. It's just downloading the world scenery update. At least on my Xbox, whenever I do that, it crashes these screens. These screens go out. It doesn't matter what part of the world I'm flying in, they will go out. Yeah, I might download one of those. There's a really nice one in Hawaii where you're flying a Cessna. There's one in Australia that's really fun. There's one in Canada that's really fun. All with planes that there's no autopilot. You have to fly it manually the whole time. And these bush trips, you just take off from little airport to little airport. It's like 40 to 50 miles in between each airport. You just take off and land. And yeah, if they, I don't know if they allowed a Stratoliner, but I will check when I'm done this flight. I will check it out and see if I can use the Stratoliner for that. All right, let's. Really nothing to do at this point. We just gotta wait. Yeah, the one for Alaska, I think it's a Cub Crafter X that they use. But yeah, that's a fun bush trip. It's really scenic, and you have to really like follow the ground often to find out where you're going. I could always take a few days and build my own bush trip, and then use the Stratoliner with my own just create my own bush trip somewhere around the world, and use the Stratoliner for that. That I could do. Give me a few days. I'll get that up. I have to plot out where to go. Pick out like 4 or 5 airports with like 50 to 70 miles or so in between each one. And make sure there's enough shit to see in between them, mountains, and towns, and rivers, and lakes, and all kinds of good stuff to look at. All right, I'm gonna start slowing down because we're pretty close to our landing. I'm going to plug in a new altitude as well because we're going to be descending again pretty soon. Actually, our bottom, what is our capture point tonight? 2,000. So let's just plug in 2,000. We'll stay at this altitude until this number changes, and then the plane will start angling down again on its own. We're getting ready to switch into heading mode, and so what? Oh, sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. So let me pause this real quick. So this little dotted line here is for the localizer. And then this little diamond here is for the glide scope. Even though we're not in that mode, it's still giving us that info. I think this plane will switch automatically. I'm going to see if it does. I think this plane will switch automatically when we get close enough, where I don't have to switch the modes myself. I think it'll do it. Can't put the landing gear down. We're going too fast, honey. Jesus Christ, lady, shut up. This throttle is acting really strange tonight. Like there's no middle ground with it. You just tap the button and it shoots all the way up. Usually it responds much better than that. I might have to use my mouse to control it. All right, let's see what happens when this dotted line finishes lining up. I think it might switch over on its own. See what happens. Yep, see, it did. It switched over all on its own. See how it's now localizer? And I bet you this will switch. Once this diamond gets down, I bet you it'll switch into glide scope mode. Now our approach speed is supposed to be 85 indicated knots, but we have a 14-degree headwind. So usually you take half of that and add it to your landing. So we're going to try to land around 92 to 95 knots tonight. Some planes have a maximum of 10 that you can add to the approach speed, but I'm not really sure what it is with this plane, but I'm sure adding 7 is fine. We're only about 5 miles out of the airport. Nilda, which is we're about 8 miles out right now, actually. Once we get to Nilda, we have 3.8 miles, 4.9 miles to the last waypoint, and then it's 1.1 mile after that. So we're pretty close. Let's see if this switches into glide scope mode. I need to click approach. I mean, I know we need to click approach to go into it, but I don't know if it'll switch all on its own or not. Oh, all right. I clicked the button. I didn't want to wait. I wasn't sure if that would switch automatically on its own or not. Yeah, I guess we should put the correct barometric pressure in, 30.21. Kind of do that a little slowly so you don't mess with the glide scope too much. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool how the plane switches automatically from like GPS mode to that localizer mode. I think that's pretty cool that it does that all on its own. Let's continue to slow down a little bit. I like when these planes land themselves. Lets me look at all the pretty scenery on the outside. It's definitely, for me, it's definitely part of the fun of this simulator is looking at all like the buildings and just everything that's around. Let's get down to a little bit lower, and then we'll put flaps full. There's our full flaps. About the approach speed we want. This is the headwind that we have. That's got to be awesome to live. I mean, I'm sure having an airport right here is annoying, but having a like living and then just like looking out at that like every day, like you wake up and you move your blinds and look out, like this is what you see. That'd be amazing. Yeah, it's early enough. I think I'll be back for another flight. Find something to do. I don't know if it's going to be a Stratoline or Bush Trip in Alaska, but I'll find something. All right, we are on the ground safely. I guess we can turn this way, I guess. I'm not really sure. Whoa, bitch, hold up. All right, we're here. That's it for this part of the show. I will be back. Yeah, man, I agree. It was cool. I'll definitely be back. Probably within about 30 minutes. I need to find something to do, flight wise, and plan it real quick. But I'll be back because it's early enough, and I want to do something else. But thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hope you. If I don't see you on the next flight, I hope you have a good morning or a good evening wherever you're located in the world, and I